Good morning everyone, Val here. And this morning I'm going to be making a cake. It's my grandson's 21st birthday. It was actually last week, but we're celebrating it this weekend. I'm going to pick him up this afternoon and him and his brother, and they're going to spend the weekend here. My daughter is going to meet us up here and her husband. They're coming up from Lynchburg. They'll meet us on Saturday. We're going to go out to lunch at Gavin's Choice of Restaurant, and then we're gonna come home and have cake. So I'm making the cake. So I texted Gavin and asked him what kind of cake he wanted. Gavin turned 21 last week, and he said vanilla cake. So I said, all right, I can make a vanilla cake. What kind of frosting? And he said, I don't care. So what I'm gonna do is, I always, when they were growing up, I like to make cute cakes with a little something on them that they can take off and take home with them. So that's what I'm gonna do today, is make a fun little cake for Gavin with things that he loves. So let's get started. To start out with the recipe, it calls for 1 cup of sugar. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm altering this just a little bit because I never put the amount of sugar in the recipe that it calls for. It makes stuff way too sweet for us. So I about half the sugar in most of my recipes. So that's just about a little over a half a cup, just about a half a cup of sugar. Now this is calling for vanilla sugar, which is 1 or 2 vanilla beans that are split in half lengthways and then placed in a canister with 3 to 5 pounds of sugar and let it sit for 2 weeks. I didn't go through all of that. I just used a regular sugar, which they said is fine, and I increased the vanilla just a little bit in the recipe. So it's calling for 6 tablespoons of butter or margarine. I have that in the bowl. Calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, which I have in this little cup. I put a teaspoon and a half. I upped the vanilla just a little bit. 1 3/4 cup of sifted flour, and I did sift this flour. It's cake flour. And 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. I have in this little cup. I have a teaspoon of salt in this little cup, and then I have a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in this cup. It's calling for a cup of dairy sour cream. So I have it in my measuring cup, and then it's calling for 4 stiffly beaten egg whites, and I have those separated in here. I use a little Tupperware egg separator. I don't know, they've been around for years and years and years. I've had mine, I don't even remember when I got it. That's how long I've had it. So do y'all have one of those little Tupperware egg separators? Now, because of the price of eggs, I did keep the egg yolks because I know the boys will probably want omelets in the morning, and I'll just add an extra egg yolk to each of them's omelet, kind of like they got a double yolk egg. So I put my cookbook aside. I'm gonna just be referencing it because I have not made this cake before. I'm gonna be putting this cake into a springform pan because it's just easier for me, and I like easy. So, and I'm gonna spray this. It says to grease it and then flour it. I just use a baking spray, and this is just a Food Lion baking spray. So I'm just gonna spray the pan real good, and it should just pop right out of the pan. And this spray is just about empty, so we're gonna chuck that one away. I have a backup. I just want to get the edges really good. There we go. All right, I'm going to spray my pan and set it aside, and then we're going to get started with the recipe. It's saying cream together 1 cup of the sugar and the butter or margarine. So we're going to put the sugar in. Let me aim you guys down here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put the sugar in. I'm going to add the butter. And we're going to cream that together. Now that that's creamed together, it says to add the vanilla in there. So we're going to just cream that a little bit more. Now it's saying to add together my flour, my salt, my baking powder, and my baking soda. I'm going to just kind of add those together, and we're going to add this, alternate this with the sour cream and add it to our mixture here, and then continue on mixing it together. So let me get a little of this in there. I'll probably do it in like threes. Oops. Take like a third of this in there. Alright, I'm just gonna wipe down my sides of my bowl. Add another third. This won't take long at all. And then I'm going to add the rest of my flour and the rest of my sour cream. And we're going to continue to mix this up. I don't want to over mix it, so I'm going to call that mixed, and I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl and give it just a stir, and then we're going to get the egg whites ready to go in there. This is my mixture. Just going to make sure I have all the sugar and the flour off the sides of the bowl, and it looks good. So we're going to take our egg whites and put them in this glass bowl here. And we're going to whip them until they have stiff peaks. Going to pull our beater up, and if the egg sticks up in there, that's pretty stiff peaks. So that's good. Now we're going to take the egg whites and just fold them into this mixture. Just kind of lightly fold it in. I have the oven preheating at 350 degrees. That's what we need. And this is saying to cook for 30 to 35 minutes until the batter, or until the toothpick comes out clean. We'll do the toothpick method. So I'll start at like 30 minutes and then I'll increase it to like 35 minutes. Trying to get it folded in here. This is some pretty thick dough. I want to get it mixed in there though. Alright, I think that's pretty good. I've got my greased pan, and I'm just going to turn this into the greased pan. It's not specific as to what size pan, so I think you can use like 2 round pans or a long pan or anything that you want to use. Alright, we'll wait till the oven heats up. It's about halfway there, and we'll get this cake in the oven. Okay, my oven has preheated. We're going to throw our cake in there in the middle. And I'm going to put a timer on there for, I'm going to put 30 minutes. And we'll check it with a toothpick in 30 minutes. Okay, the timer is going off. It's been 30 minutes. Let's turn that timer off and let's look at the cake. Got my toothpick and I'm going to test it out. Seems pretty firm there. Yep, that's done. If you can see there, the sides are brown, the top is browning, but it's really firm. I don't want to go any more than that with it. So I'm going to sit it here to cool, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes and try to loosen up this springform pan. It's been 10 minutes. The pan has cooled down a little bit. I'm just gonna shake the sides to make sure it's loosened up. It seems pretty loose. It's pulled away from the sides, so I can take my springform off. It's been a while since I've used this pan. Maybe I can take it off. I guess maybe it's not going to come out. That's okay. Let's this pan it's getting kind of old. Alright, I'm just going to flip that onto there. It's not going to be a very thick cake, but there's not that many of us, and I don't want a lot of leftover cake, but that's how it came out. Just going to have one layer. I'm going to let it cool, and then I'm going to put the top on it, and I'm going to decorate it tomorrow morning before the party. So I'll bring you back then and show you how I decorate it. Alright, next day, it's time to frost the cake. I will say to y'all, if you're going to make this recipe and make it in a round pan that's this large, I would double the batch, because this is really thin. I'm going to go with it because there's only going to be a couple of us here, and I don't want to make, if I made a double on this, it would be a lot of cake left over for us, or a lot of cake to deal with. So I'm not going to worry about it. Gavin's okay with it being thin. So, I mean, I'm thinking it did smell good cooking, so I'm thinking it's going to taste good. I'm going to use this to frost with, and this is because I bought this for Christmas. I thought that the kids were going to do sugar cookies, but we ended up not doing that, and I don't want this sitting in my cabinet getting old and throwing it away. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. I actually have 2 things of it, and I may use one to decorate with some colors and stuff. But I might just use part of this to frost it with and then use the rest of it to put some coloring in. But let's see what we can do. Yeah, this is gonna go a long way on here. The guys are playing cards. I'm going to make some blue frosting. Steve's got his headphones so loud I can hear through them. Steve's playing cards with the toys over in the table. We got blue going on. That's a deep blue. I have used too much of that. Add some white to it. I know this is store-bought frosting, but it's thin and I want to be able to decorate with it, so I'm going to add some powdered sugar to it to thicken it up a little bit.
I threw an extra soda.
What was in the bottom of your pot?
Ah. Ooh, there. Side.
So much thicker, so much better. That's going to be so much easier to decorate with. So we've got plenty of that. Let me get my decoration tube. I'm gonna put the tip on it and then fill it up. All right, I'm just gonna add decoration around the base.
I have 3.
All right, so I'm just putting a border around the bottom layer. I'm gonna do that. I'll come back. Okay, the border's done. Let's switch tips. We'll go with this one. Gavin and Zane and Steve are over there playing cards. So I'm trying to not show him the cake until after I'm finished with it. So we'll let him see it first. All right. So this is what we're doing here. Shh. Okay, y'all, this is the finished cake. All right, I'm gonna have Gavin close his eyes and come and look at it, and I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator so that the frosting gets hard. All right, here's Gavin. Let's get his first look at the cake and see if he likes it.
Right here.
All right, open your eyes.
Penguins. Yeah, penguins.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
You get to take all the little penguins home.
Yay, penguin army.
And Pocky.
Okay.
Penguins and Pocky.
Boy, I screwed up on that.
It's this Pocky. It's almond crunch.
Yeah,
That's the good kind.
Yeah, you can have what's left in there. Is there any in there?
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, you can have what's left. I broke one. I'm gonna eat the one I broke. But yeah, it came out pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that looks great.
I found the penguins on Amazon.
Yeah.
But the frosting's a little soft, so I'm gonna throw the cake in the refrigerator to get it nice and hard so the penguins and the numbers don't fall over. And we'll have it after lunch.
Yay.
All right, so that's it. We are done with the cake. If you want to find out how we like the cake, watch tomorrow's video, because we're gonna be celebrating Gavin's birthday. So come find out what we did, and we're celebrating Christmas with my daughter Alicia and Robert tomorrow. So watch tomorrow's video. Find out if we like the cake. Thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to. we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Leave a comment below. And remember, it's all about the adventure. Bye now.